if you know, and you know to yourself that your content, you're not comfortable posting your body, and then you now want to, because of you want to go viral, let me tell you something. It never ends. That is one thing. And I hope that this gets to the right ears, this gets to the right eyes. It just know that it never ends. You think you are just going to post, you always start with a half titty or a cleavage, right? A little selfie in the bra. It starts with something innocent. It genuinely does. And you see the engagement spike. You see the thirsty people in the comments. You see everybody. It's called the thirst trap, love. If you post the thirst trap, you're attracting thirsty people. So don't get personal or don't get annoyed when they start sending dick pics to your DM.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Boys and girls, mommies and daddies of the podcast. I am Oseni Hanat and I welcome you back to this episode of the podcast. So with me here, I have the chairman of the pod.
Hi, what's up? My name is Abela Drogeme. We're happy people here. We're fun people trying to have an amazing conversation. And today's conversation is pretty going to be pretty chaotic and or controversial because we're talking about the home of many, the home of all, solace to many, social media.
Social media.
Right. So Anat, what is your preferred social media platform?
Twitter. It's quite toxic.
You like foulness.
But I love Twitter. But recently I've started to love TikTok more. Like I find peace on TikTok.
Do you do
No, I don't even make videos.
Oh.
I don't make videos on TikTok. All I just do there is I just want to laugh. I want to laugh and see people do their thing. And the comment section on TikTok is wild. So those are where I even catch more fun than the actual videos.
So being a former social media manager and still I'm a social media enthusiast, it's hard for me to say I like one more than the other.
Really?
I prefer TikTok. So I have like moods, right?
Yeah.
If I want to fall asleep or I want to have something happy or something calm at night, TikTok is my go-to. If I want to stay updated as to things that are going on, I want to. Twitter is my guy.
Too.
If I'm trying to look at what my friends are doing and how they're doing, God forbid. Do I look 30?
No.
Instagram now.
I use Facebook as well. I Facebook.
I only go to Facebook.
Not like I post. I just go there to just see how my old friends are doing. What's happening with everyone's life. And I say congratulations. One thing I do on my
Facebook
is I say congratulations. Happy for you. Those are the things I say.
Do you write it as API for you?
No.
Because that's how we used to use Facebook at the time.
Very conventional person.
You.
So I type in few.
If we go back to 10 years ago when you first opened the Facebook, is it going to be the same person that you're trying to follow?
Yes. I'm actually a conventional person.
I don't worry. I'm gonna. Anata said it on camera. I will go through our Facebook and I'll send you screenshots so that we can all be invested in this conversation.
Yeah.
Anyways, so talking about the good, the bad, the trendy, going viral is a very fickle thing. As much as podcasts, we would like to go viral. Going viral for the wrong reason can be a very terrible thing. Right, and I just wanted to talk about some of these things that it's just weird, right? The crazy things that people are willing to do to go viral, clout-chasing, trying to stay relevant. Bro, that
has to be one of the things on Twitter that is actually pissing me.
Don't worry, feel free to express yourself.
It actually pisses me off. Toxicity should not be a thing, but people really want to go viral because they are toxic. So they portray this toxic personality, toxic personnel around them.
So are we going to blame these people because social media or Twitter as a platform, as Nigerian Twitter, has proven to show that or is showing that the best way to go viral is by savage response. Yeah. And by savage response, you have to degrade or dehumanize somebody in the same of cruise. Like, I'm not going to start the podcast on such depressing notes, but I'm going to say that later on in the podcast of how Twitter trends and cruise has had perfect, has had real life impact in people's lives, right? Deepo said this a couple of episodes ago that Twitter is not a real place And I think I like to be buttressed that Twitter is not a real place. Anybody that likes Twitter, I have to look at them with one
side eye.
Like,
bombastic side eye.
I don't know what that is, man. but let's get into it. Right? Clout chasing. Let's talk about clout chasing for a bit. Something that someone said to me when I started this podcast a couple of years ago was that if you want your podcast to grow massively, you have to chase clout with your chest. You chase every form of clout. And I think it was onto something. And I started to believe it. I still kind of do on some days. Because in order to stay relevant, you have to talk about what is being talked about. And when you are talking about it, you're not trying to be yourself. You're only trying to follow the trend and rise with that trend.
Isn't me. I don't like if you're on my socials, especially Twitter, and I find that you comment on every conversation. You have an opinion on every conversation. I mute you.
No.
I control the type of content I consume on social media.
Okay.
In as much as I use that a lot, I control the type of content I use. Thank God for the, what do they call it, algorithm thing. So I use that.
Let's talk about Twitter for a bit, right? And this is a perfect example. I don't know if this thing popped up on your timeline. There was a particular post on Twitter of this lady with her ass, right? Apparently, I think she had just finished performing coitus with whoever she was with. But I think it was they went to the BDSM route, and there was like marks on her body. Did you see the post?
No, I did.
Oh my days! For folks that saw it, all right. So like she's a white person, right? Okay. And she like acted and just showed her ass. And it was all red marks and everything. And she was still like, all of those saying that, people say like poor or
it's given.
It's something like that. So she used one of those corny lines and everything. And she was even proud of it. I don't know if it was the person, it was a lady per se or somebody else that posted it.
Okay.
But this now started popping up on my timeline because everybody was quoting the tweet. Like, when I tell you that I muted the conversation, I literally had to block the original owner of the post. And basically not doing anything to me, but because of my friends or people that I was following constantly kept quoting that. I was tired of that particular tweet because it felt wrong to me. And this leads me back to the question of clout chasing, right? We all want to be relevant. We all want to be popular. We have the social need as human beings to belong to something, and not just belong, to be the head of that community. So, clout chasing has proven to be one way to do it. You want to be important. You want to stay relevant. And so what do? You talk about what people are talking about with the hopes that you go viral, right? Now, this is what I have problem with. People are willing to do the nastiest things to chase clout. I'll give you an example, and this is beyond Nigerian Twitter. This is beyond Nigerian social media. There's one dude on TikTok that his primary content is pouring milk or pouring excess of something into a tiny cup.
It wastes food.
And I'm like, I came across something a couple of weeks ago. This guy was trying to prank his dad, and he painted the whole kitchen in peanut butter. How far? Okay, we have. It's hurtful because social media rewards provocative content, rewards content that people are always like, "What is this nonsense? What am I doing?" And because of people are quickly aggravated, some people that understand that psychology then knows to say that, I'm going to do something that is going to be very, very extreme so that I get talked about. And that is some level of clout chasing, right?
Yes.
But let me put it to you. Have you ever what's the craziest thing that you've ever done that you think it doesn't necessarily have to be bad, but it's not you, but because of you wanted to be relevant within this space? Maybe you were trying to market your products. Maybe you were trying to market your pictures.
Thing I think I have done was because I was trying to get to talk to somebody on Twitter. It was in line with my career.
Okay.
So I was going to find a way to talk to the person.
Mm-hmm.
So she just tweeted something randomly, and I felt like, bro, I do not even really have an in-depth knowledge of what she was saying. I just went there to say something. Just to get her attention. That this woman, I beg. I'm trying. Then at the time, I was trying to get an internship placement. So She's actually in my line of career, so I wanted her attention. I needed it. So I just went to her comment section to say bullshit. And it worked. I didn't get her to give me internship, but I just had her attention. And I liked that I got her attention. Henceforth, she followed me. And as she followed me, she sees my posts. She likes them. I have not even, I'm yet to delve into that space. So I know that by the time I'm ready to delve into that space, I have a particular person who is a big fish in this space in my circle already.
Okay, interesting. I really like that. For me, I think that the nastiest thing I've ever done on social media to actually stay relevant is, I won't say it's nasty, but my definition was just weird. Follow for follow, follow, train, all those things. And, it's crazy because people who are viral now are the top class. That's how they started. And, they eventually grew actual fans, and people then think that, okay, this is how we're gonna do. And let's even talk about how people intentionally, and I mentioned this prior, that people intentionally aggravate other people just to be. They say the nastiest thing. I'll give you an example. A couple of weeks ago, quite recently, this guy that claims to be a men advocate on Twitter made a post about how you should not
women
first. Listen to this. He said, as a man, don't hit a woman first. I think that first was intentional. I think it was intentional. And I think we should not underestimate these guys because they actually are smarter than we give them credit. Yeah. Some of these guys actually, all of those people that say, this is my first time on Twitter, and they're going to post one fine babe picture that is obviously catfish. Right? I think they're smarter than we know, or we give them credit. And when this guy said, don't hit the lady first,
he wanted the engagement.
It was intentionally trying to aggravate people. And the fact that you are setting yourself up, the fact that you are putting yourself as a lamb to the slaughter every day to trend on social media. Look at this guy that used to do, that is in the UK, that used to say plantain types. There's one guy that used to say funny accent, like he's in the UK, but he says he's Nigerian. I don't know him. I'm sure you know the guy. Like he says plantain. He says like something that Nigeria, like he says Nigerian products, but he says it in a funny name.
In a funny way. So people will be like, why are you saying it that way?
At first we thought it was crazy, but this dude did it again and again. And how you can bring yourself to the streets of social media to be dragged every day is what I don't understand. Intentionally aggravating people to stay relevant.
They call it, somebody, I don't know, somebody called, it's more like a clickbait, if I would say. It's more like, just say something they do not like, and they would team up to you, then you get the engagement. I think that's what people do. They do the wrong things. They know that people will criticize the wrong thing. Then they just do it intentionally. There's this lady that used to trend on Twitter. She's not trending any longer. She's this girl, she's actually really curvy.
Curvy?
Yeah, she's quite curvy.
Top and bottom or just bottom?
Top and bottom.
Okay.
She has large boobs, that very big. You should know her.
Eh?
You should know her.
Oh yeah, I know the video.
Yeah. So she's light skinned. She's actually very, very attractive.
I think I met her once.
She's very, very, very attractive. So at some point, when she just wanted to trend, she keeps posting her body. She used to be a type of lady who was a Muslim girl. She used to cover her body. Then all at a point, she removed the hijab completely, and she started to expose her entire body. People started getting angry at her, like, why are you doing this, blah, blah, blah. She was getting the engagement. Then later she started tweeting nonsense. She started to tweet stuff and that were really out of context. But because she was trying to stay relevant. But in the actual sense, she was not. Whenever she posts her actual tweets, they do not get engagement until she posts
the clickbait types.
So that's what I say. That's what I feel like. They do not. They only trend for that particular reason. And they cannot even maintain.
Which leads me to the next one, which is going viral for the wrong reasons, right? as much as I genuinely want to go viral, I would love for this podcast to go viral, and I don't think it's in anybody's power. It's just luck. There's something called variable rewards in product design and building products that you don't know when the internet will reward you, so you try as much as possible to keep putting stuff out there until the reward just hits you, and all of that stuff. Now, as much as I would like the podcast to go viral, I hope and I pray that when we do go viral, it's not for the wrong reasons, because you cannot take it back. It is easy for the internet to take you out of context. In this podcast pandemic, when everybody's having a podcast, there was this podcast recently,
viral for the wrong reason,
where this chick was saying, animals sell their vaginas, that women too should. It was that bad. It was so bad that I actually tried to give them another shot. I listened to their following episode, their sequel episode. I did not see the full one because I was also disgusted by what I saw on the internet. But when I listened to the second one, I wasn't all that impressed. I really wasn't all that impressed. But their guest was quite good. As much as I'd love that the podcast goes viral, I genuinely would love that it's for the right reasons. Now, this podcast that this chick was talking about, women should sell their vagina. She said something that, as a guy, if you do not, as a guy, it is what you have that will determine whether or not a lady likes you. Like, she said something like that. And I was like, podcasts are a fickle thing where you could easily be taken out of context, right? And going viral is a very fickle thing. There's this guy that his whole content essentially is trying to trend off of this chick called Kelly, right? Let me just give you a backstory. Kelly is this chick that is based abroad, and she's quite curvy, but on the slim side. You know what they call slim thick, right? And she blew up on Nigerian TikTok. Everything was curvy, everything was bouncy, and Nigerian men really liked her, right? Now, this guy then says, we want to bring Kelly to we want to bring Kelly to Nigeria. That you have to pay 150,000 for the ticket to come to the. Was it 150,000 that you say he needs like 1 million per person? It was one absurd amount that you have to bring this amount to give Kelly to come to Nigeria. And while we understand that maybe you wanted to actually bring this person, true, that was it. But we then realized on the timeline that this guy kept talking about Kelly. What would you do without Kelly?
It was cringe as fuck.
Bro. And I was like, and this goes to prove that when you go viral for the wrong reason, right? There is nothing else that you are going to be able to say to keep your engagements normal. If you are a sexual advocate person, you talk about sexual content, you post traps on social media and all of that stuff. The day that you want to actually talk about something sensitive, something sensible, however, because of your audience base are thirsty people, you could have someone that has a million followers, but because of you talk about one thing a man should do. Instead of, a man should not hit a woman. Something that normally should get engagement, you could get 10 likes. It is that bloody on the internet. So, please, you want to say something?
There is this particular thing I tried on Twitter one time. I don't know if anybody actually can still remember. It was the orgasm challenge.
Is it orgasm challenge? Morning
challenge.
Morning space.
Morning space. It was a crazy thing. The page that made it get viral was actually it was in line of that. I followed that account. But constantly, whenever that account tweets other things that are actually supposed to get quite a very nice number of engagements, do not get it until they talk about something sexual. That's why going viral for the wrong reason is actually very bad.
If it is not, like she said, if it is not something that you normally would talk about, if you are not into selling lingerie, for example, she
sells quite dildos and the likes, so those are.
I think we're going to talk about how those things sell out fast in Nigeria, in Lagos. Like, somebody told me a couple of years ago that our boss ordered it like 20 or 200. I don't know. I think it was 20 or 200. That They had not shipped it. They are sold out.
Really?
Like it has not come to the store. They don't already sell them out.
And that's the thing. I think Nigerians consume more sexual enhancement products and sexual things, and we still have people really. There's a sexual pandemic in Nigeria. I don't know.
But I think it's secretive, so it's not mainstream.
Jerry, it is mainstream. Jerry, it is a pandemic.
Maybe that one is the topic for another day.
Topic fun.
But I'm saying all of this to say that if what you intend to go viral with your provocative content, because sometimes people actually plan to go viral. We do the craziest thing, the nastiest thing. If it is not something that you know you can keep up with, or you cannot keep up with, don't do it, because it would make no sense and to be depressive for you, because you're going to have a ton of people, you're going to have a ton of fans, but not actual. You're going to have followers, but not fans. And it's crazy. All right, I know of a friend of mine, Okpelua. Okpelua built his fan base off of being a punter. A punter is someone that gives people game if you want to bet. So most of his audience is they are
actually bet people.
And although there's other people that come along, obviously his Twitter is an open platform. But he knows, and I know that Okpe has been doing this for a long time. I think it's actually what he does right now full time. So I think it's something that Mans has gone thousands and thousands of views and likes for. Okpe, if you see this, shout out to you. Share the podcast on your timeline. Don't be very foolish. Right? But yeah, man, if you do want to go viral, please make sure you're going viral for the right reason. Now, I want to ask this question. And I put it to you, it's like a scenario. It actually happened. I heard of it. It's more of hearsay, so I wouldn't say it's like it's facts. Right? I heard that a popular influencer, a very, very popular Nigerian influencer, was offered about 40 to 50 million naira to push a negative narrative for a political candidate, right? And it got me thinking. We're talking about 40 million naira here.
40 million.
Would you do, in fact, I'm going to put this question in the poll. Would you go against your morality for 40 million naira? Would you?
There's this thing that they say is everything, the trends on social media, it goes and it dies. So people believe that. And rather, I'll just be like, he go still die. She gets. There was a particular movie. The statement comes from King of Boys, I think. So it was going to be, they were going to push this person story viral, blah 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 blah. And he mentioned the statement was like, is it not the social media? Is it not the internet? 2 weeks they will stop talking about it and they'll talk about something else. Yeah. And I will guess what I want.
Yeah, I think it was one chief like that.
Yeah, it was Jide Kosoko that said it in that movie.
Yeah.
Like, is it not the internet? 2 weeks I would do what I would get what I need and everybody will stop talking.
Nigerian internet thrives off of.
And that is what it is.
Yeah.
He's a political candidate. He is a political candidate. He has so many backlashes. Everybody wants to drag a political candidate. I might go for it if the person's integrity is questionable.
And if it's not?
And if it is not, I would not.
It's 40 million euro. Let's not lie to ourselves.
If the person's, just like telling, if the person's integrity is not questionable, I would not. But if the person's integrity is questionable, I'll pour fire. I'll add petrol to the fire. Let all of us condemn this person together.
And this is...
if some people are condemning him for free, let me condemn him for 40 million. Is that not it?
And this is the narrative that people have on social media. Okay, let me push this controversial picture. Let me post a snippet of me in my bralette. Let me post TL asleep content. And they will like it. I'll gain followers and I'll stop. But you never actually stop.
You never stop.
Because when you start it, like I'm of this opinion, and it's a personal one, by the way, but having a bad habit is actually very easy. Indulging in certain vices is easy. But good. I know that bad things are always very sweet, but have long-term effects which are very bad. So it's not because I don't find myself as explorative or experimentative. Jesus Christ, experimentative, right? But I know that if I start this thing, I don't want to be battling off. I don't want to battle it that, how will I stop? Can you call? And it becomes a problem for me. So that's why anything will be like, yeah. And this is not to slander the smoking community. I think, and I've mentioned this before, that the smoking community is one of the best community ever. And this is not even to patronize anybody. I'm not trying to be condescending.
They have one of the best.
They have the coolest.
They are very
bro, I was at the party. I'm sorry I'm deviating, but I was at the party a couple of months ago, and I was just there. I knew only one person. The person that invited me, she wasn't there at the time, but Mars was just like, they were passing, like,
I said no. They would just be like, okay.
And it was like, what? And after that, we still converse and we still talk. And
they are actually very chill.
And they're very deep. Their
conversations are actually very, very deep. So if you are not actually on your guard,
they can throw you off of your value system.
I swear. I talk to many of them and I'd be like,
and the way they will talk calmly,
reason this thing, but then they are actually very chill people too.
So this is not to support or slander anybody. Everybody has a decision. However, there's this chick that I don't know if you know her. She's on Twitter. She was called to the bar a couple of years ago, but now her content is showing off her body and smoking.
Yeah.
Bro, that girl has seen Shaggy from Catfish.
Yeah, everybody posted pictures just because for some reason they just want to get engagement because they know that she's actually a cool stoner. She looks quite cool. She's nice. Her body is banging. But then people just keep posting her picture. And I don't even know her personal page.
I actually came across it.
I came across it on Instagram.
Yeah, I came across it on Twitter. And people are looking for a lamb to the slaughter, and I don't understand that psychology. People want to drag, like you thrive off of throwing people into, and these comrade memes are annoying.
Comrade cook.
Like the comrade memes, violence because of. See, let me explain something to you, right? And again, this is from you that you are trying to go viral, and you that are pouring petrol on fire as the user. Now I'm talking to you as the user. As much as you think it is cruise, as much as you might think, it's fun to have a good laughs, I've seen people's lives get ruined, or I've read people's lives get ruined. Now, in Dave Chappelle's last stand-up, or a couple of stand-ups ago, he mentioned that I wouldn't go much into this story, but there was this transgender lady that was a big fan of Dave, right? And if you follow Dave Chappelle, if you are a fan of Dave Chappelle at all, you know that this man is very cold when it comes to sensitive conversation, politics, sexuality, homosexuality. Like, when I say it's very cold, he says things as they are, and I'm not trying to even support him, but I think it is stand up. If you think you don't want to be dragged in a comedy, don't fucking heckle. What heckle means is you're talking back from the crowd, right? So if you think you don't want you don't want the comedian to roast you, don't heckle, right? But and if the comedian is now roasting you when you are shouting from the crowd and is telling you that you are insignificant, you're taking it personal, you don't know what you're doing right now. There's this lady that was a fan of Dave Chappelle. She's transgender. It was a man before. He has a daughter. He had a daughter because he passed. He had a daughter, and then he became transgender. And because of people were attacking Dave on Twitter as usual, because Dave is cold. He doesn't, and people and minority groups are very easily triggered once they say any small thing like this. Wow, social media. Wow, they drag you. They one thing, right? And Yankee Twitter too is crazy. So Yankee Twitter, they dragged Dave, and this chick came to defend Dave because Dave is not even on Twitter, so he doesn't even know, right? She came to defend Dave, and they then dragged her that this person is insulting your community and you are supporting him. One thing, and it was so bad that they said crazy things to her that she had to go commit suicide.
Jeez.
It was that bad. Like, Dave came to stage and he was in tears. And I think he dedicated a trust fund to the man's child, or the woman's child. Another time, somebody attacked, like, they tackled Dave on stage. Like, Dave was doing his comedy, he was doing his show, and someone came on stage from the crowd and they tackled him. Like, you know when you run into somebody with a spear, like, bro. And I'm like, social media can be a crazy place. People can say crazy things, but doesn't mean, and all of this comes back to cancel culture. This is now, again, this is going viral for the wrong reason as a creator, but now I'm talking at it as the user.
Yeah.
Right? You cannot always want to cancel somebody simply because the person is against your values. Bro, it's your opinion. If it, like, it's just like you said, this person was having coming up on your timeline and you block the person, you muted the person. That's all it takes. Which one is you go and take screenshot of the person's old Twitter? I'm like, oh, is this you?
This you.
And I'm like,
I could remember it was this guy, David Undein. David Undein.
I have no idea what that is.
He's an investigative journalist.
Okay.
So I don't know. I get triggered by all of his posts.
Okay.
I feel he's actually very judgmental,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not a judgmental person. So I don't like judgmental people. You get,
Okay.
if you are 100%, if you are totally judgmental and you are just biased, you don't
I want to hear the rest of the story.
Yeah. So once his first article, it was trending. Everybody was everywhere. It was one conflict for jihad thing. I tried as much as possible to read through it. I read through it. I felt okay. The next one was the flosser wave thing. I said this is nonsense. You can't keep going and picking stuff to crash people down. See, even if somebody had shitty stories to their wealth, as long as they were able to accumulate that the wrong way, cleaning up a bad money, is actually harder than even getting it. Do you get what I'm saying? Cleaning it up is. I'm not
supporting that. Get money
but
by all
I'm not saying
means.
the years of struggle and gathering staffs to work for this company, and this company has actually grown to become a community and it's helping people in Africa. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You as an individual, you're not coming and you are making post an article
to tear this person down.
Not the person.
The entire body, community. Because if, say, Flutterwave goes down, a lot of people will be out of jobs.
Exactly. It is painful. I have friends who had staffs with Flutterwave. If you tear them down, these people would not have jobs. So I just, immediately I read through, henceforth, I just blocked him. I muted him. So there are times some people would actually retweet his comments. At first I muted him. So people would retweet this. I followed him and muted him. So people would retweet it. I would see it. Then I would just block. I will mute this conversation. I don't want to see this. So that's how I was able to control the type of content I consume. Now, I just want to laugh on social media.
I won't be happy.
I don't want to be happy and seeing things in my line of my career. So most of the times on my socials, the things that pop up on my feeds are things that are in line with me, the things I want to achieve, things that I'm trying to get, or things that I want to make me happy.
Now let's talk about sexuality on social media. Right now, we started off as the content creator, not necessarily having to do the craziest thing to go viral. Then we moved on to the content consumer. You don't always have to put people up as a lamb to the slaughter. Now let's talk about back to creating and going viral, creating content to go viral. Sexuality is a very fickle thing, right? I've met people who are obsessed with their bodies, and you have every right to be, because have you looked at the mirror lately? Like, damn. No, I know of stories. I know of stories that I've heard that and I don't look at me like that.
No, I just want you to say what's going on.
But I know of people that, okay, let me just say this. I know of people that if you look at them, if you see them in a dress, you know that God is good.
God is good.
Like, you just look at them,
the
and I'm like, whatever you are doing, why are you not with me? Like, what's your problem?
When I was coming yesterday, I told that when I saw one babe, I said, she's too fine. And I was like, are you gay? I said, no.
And I've seen people that when you hear everything is jiggling, it's there. It's there. Right? Ọlọ́run tóbi lọ́ba, it's understandable. God is good.
Great.
Right. Now, I'm saying all of this to offer this is like, kind of light note. But if you know and you know to yourself that your content, you're not comfortable posting your body, and then you now want to, because of you want to go viral, let me tell you something. It never ends. That is one thing. And I hope that this gets to the right ears, this gets to the right eyes. Just know that it never ends. You think you are just going to post, you always start with a half titty or a cleavage, right? A little selfie in the bra. It starts with something innocent. It genuinely does. And you see the engagement spike. You see the thirsty people in the comments. You see everybody. It's called the thirst trap, love. If you post the thirst trap, you're attracting thirsty people. So don't get personal or don't get annoyed when they start sending dick pics to your DM.
True.
With great power comes great responsibility, like Uncle Ben said, the Spider-Man. It's true. It's true. It is true. You can't expect to have a house built with sugar and don't expect ants to come to your place.
Yeah.
Are you playing?
Ants will definitely come.
So it's your social media. Yes, it's your social media. Yes, I did not buy data for you, but you cannot expect that you come to this. So let me tell you something. Let me tell you the whole idea behind social media. The whole essence of social media is seeking validation. We are all on social media. For us that are actually tweeting, not people that are just looking from the sideline like Anat. For us that are actually tweeting and creating content, we're there to seek validation. We're there to put out content with the hopes that it resonates with people. People agree with us.
Yeah.
So when people actually do not agree with you, don't take it the wrong way, right? You say, oh, you are having a picture of you in Maldives, you go to Seychelles, you take a picture in the bikini, you do the whole body wax thing, and you take picture, you post on social media. Fine.
Nice.
But don't get irritated when you see a man trying to zoom to see something that is trying to... It is what it is, love. It is what it is. Right? Now, if you know that you are not ready for that, I beg of you, and I have seen it time and again. I know of this chick that... I'm trying not to... She can't know that she's the one that I'm talking about, so I can't say it. I know of this chick that she was a very good friend of mine. Very, very good friend of mine. I met her through some chick that I was with at one time. Finish. Right? So I know of this chick that when I say that, she was very conservative. She was very but we all knew that on a day she has something in her physically and something that you just need to let it out.
Yeah.
Right. So we all knew that this chick was actually very, very, like, she's calm, conservative, but there were tendencies. Right. And when these tendencies started to show, I told her that, dude, see, I get it. You're fine as fuck. You're a melanin beauty, whatever. You have the body. Show the body to the right set of persons or right set of people or human being. Don't come and be posting it on social media. Fast forward to some months ago, I was going on Snapchat and I was seeing the craziest thing. Right? This chick was like fondling with TDs and hers and that of her friend. And I wouldn't say it's a bad thing if that is your personality, if you are doing it. But seeing that I've known this person from the get, the transition was just unreal to me because she was one of the people that I'm like. And it started from the simplest of things, taking selfies in a bra, taking pictures in the bedroom with a towel, something that really was innocent. But when I tell you that that is not your line and you don't want to ever have to have your body on social media, just don't. Take the pictures for yourself. Have it in iPhone's what is it called? Hidden feature. Thank God, iPhone hidden feature is no longer not hidden. You can have your pin in there. There are apps that you can. Don't ask me how I know these apps. I just do. Right?
You have for your eyes
on. Come on. This was a past life, anyways. But I used to see. I like good things. So if peradventure I make it to your private Snap. I no longer use Snap anyways. But if I make it to...
Why though?
Story for another day. No, but I no longer use Snap. I could eventually go in the future, Sha, but right now, no. So, Sha, if I eventually make it to your what is it called? Your close friends on Snap, I will tell you. And you're actually putting it's not that you're putting bread and beans there. You're putting I will tell you, you are doing well. Then I then proceed. I chuckled your way to, there's this line that they have on Twitter, from jokes to strokes.
Okay.
So I chuckled my way into your DM, and I'm like, okay, let me get me onto the sometimes you have to request. It's not that you're begging, but you're requesting. What's up? This thing is too good now. Why you not say it to me, right? And I make it for your eyes only. When I tell you that this like this, it makes my day. I will tell you, wow,
you are beautiful.
Wow, look at me. And when I gas you up, I mean, it's back in the days, when I was in the world.
But now you are somebody else.
Look at him. Is he not responsible? Is he not looking responsible? But
Preach.
I know we've deviated beyond it. But the point is, if sexuality is not the type of content you want to be driving, don't. And this is it's not
even the point is, it is not even until you get very sexual. There are times when
political.
Not even political. There are times when people just post pictures and all of that. She get innocently you. Usually on that Twitter, a babe actually posted a picture. She wore a very clingy clothes and she just posted it.
What do you mean by clingy?
Like, a clingy, like she's actually really beautiful. God actually finished work on her. And people were like, turn your back. The internet people, turn your back. You want to see what is at the back. Now,
let me practicalize something for you.
Why will you tell me to turn my back? I snap a show at front. If you are not actually a pervert, why will you say I should turn my back?
Anat, let's not lie, let's not steal. Let's not lie. When a lady is taking picture like this, I'm going to stand up so that you see. Like this. Right? That is showing you the sneak peek of the front and back. May I know that this is what you actually want to do. That is showing the cake.
What's this person's mother? Hira's mother.
Bro, I saw the...
Just did a video.
Okay,
just like
I saw that.
Just standing. Everybody were like...
But no, listen, let's not lie, let's not steal. Hira's mother was built. Well, like... I had to immediately move past, because I know that if that thing lingers on my timeline longer, let me start getting ideas. I
want to come off from like a slightly religious point of view. There's this thing, my home belief that if you can see that you're actually attractive and people can get provocative when they see you, try as much as possible to cover up. Even it gets to the slightest of hands. I've met babes that seeing their hand alone can make you say
and when you laugh,
when see your body off farm, I won't see. So that's just where I come off from that point of view. So in as much as you cannot control the minds of people on social media. So if you do not want people to come at you and start sending you dick pictures, people are pervs. We're any bobo on the TL. Especially those boys. You
see those people that did not used to have any picture or any personal kini
on their Twitter.
Bro, they are just there to cause problem because they don't have any personal connection from their like social media. See those boys that did not used to have, they have only one picture or they will not have anything. But fear them. Run
especially
from them.
Comrade memes. When you see too many comrade memes, just run. Because those type of people, they are weird as hell. They just want to push anything that comes their way.
All in the name of violence. All in the name of pouring petrol on.
And some people actually even believe that it is Twitter. You can talk to anybody anyhow.
You don't know who is who.
Me, I don't take nonsense. So you cannot even... My tail is actually very controlled. So things like that do not even come my way.
I'll tell you two things. I got dragged one time.
You're right.
I got dragged one time. Well, I'll give you the story after this, right? All right. That was when I knew that she could hit the fan fast. Right, but I'll get to that in a second. All right, this is not, and the topic, which is creating content that could go viral, the good things, the bad things, all because you want to be trendy, right? Calm down now, calm down. You will get the story. I will say, if it's me that talk it, I will tell you the story. Calm down. Right, it doesn't have to be like sexual content, like I've been saying for the past couple minutes. It doesn't have to be crazy. I give an example. Reno, and this is not a bad thing. Reno is an activist. She
wasn't an activist until enters.
I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk in that regard. She could have been, and maybe she was not mainstream. Maybe it was not mainstream, but she is right now a political activist. Let's be honest. Reno cannot get enough engagement if she's not being a political activist, because she literally went viral for that reason. Now, it is not wrong. It is not bad. It is not a good thing. It's not a bad thing.
Popular on this Twitter space.
But what topics has she been talking about?
While she was popular, she wasn't really talking about politics. She was always having back and forth with Abigail Arab Money before Abigail left Twitter for us.
She left Twitter.
You don't know that Abigail left Twitter. Abigail is Papa Hex now.
I know now.
Abigail had to leave Twitter. She told Abigail that she's one idiot from Ibadan. It was always a back and forth. I really used to enjoy that period.
I wasn't on Twitter at the time.
I really used to enjoy that period. Both of them start having arguments. They say they really didn't like Abigail, because Abigail was always coming off as a twat to them. You get, and they know that Twitter is actually for slightly intelligent people. And some people who are not intelligent, they pretend like they're intelligent
so that they can stay.
She was actually, and during the lockdown, she was giving hand sanitizers and making hand sanitizers. I liked that period, and Access Bank actually sponsored her during that period. And during NSAS, she now went all in during the NSAS, and that was what gave her she was popular, right? But gave her the actual viral audience.
Yeah, the mainstream thing.
The mainstream, the international bodies even have to start calling her.
Now, I'm sure you guys are itching to know the story of how I got dragged, so grab your popcorn. So, all I said, and the thing is, all I said was, I think Tiwa Savage's career is in an all-time low, or is declining fast.
Yeah, it's declining.
That was all I said.
That's what they carry you.
Bro, when I tell you that somebody, like, they went as much as they took my picture side by side by one nonsense. I'm not joking. And that's when I had like my face, my serious, not this one. There's one other one that I had like a serious face. They now quoted it. I don't think so. Diko knew the period. Diko was just laughing. And this was just my opinion. I was just saying that what I think is Tiwa Savage's career was declining fast.
You know, on Twitter, on Twitter, commenting is more like you're walking on eggshells on Twitter. So what I don't do is I don't even talk. I just go to the DMs of my friend and see what my body is itching me to say something. I'll just go to the DM. I'll share that post with them. I'll say, see this thing. It'd be like kiriko, and the conversation ends there. I get it. To be honest, Twitter is actually a place like
sometimes I want to actually converse with people.
There was a day I was trying to say that. It was this Tiwa Savage thing too. It was when Akwi, you know Akwi.
I don't know Akwi. Okay.
Talking about that sex tape thing that you go by here, somebody was like, it's not actually this thing that she's going to get. I wanted to say that we live in a world that we actually lie to ourselves that morals are nothing now. But in the actual sense, brands will judge you by your morals before they accept you.
True.
That's so you cannot just feign ignorance or lie that it is not actually causing damage to your life. It is. But you just want us to have that fake belief that it is not. Now, what I want to badly be that. But I just have to keep my body to myself. And I was just going about my day in my house, ranting about it better than for me to go and say this.
But it's a social media platform. I want to be able to say what I think.
But
yeah, I got dragged. It was crazy. It was like I saw it happen. Like my phone was blowing up.
And I did not see it. Wow.
I saw it. And that was, by the way, that was the second time I went viral. The first time I went viral was for sleeping class.
Okay. Why your video went viral?
And then this time. So please, let's be nice people, right? I know that as creators, and let me speak to creators first. Sometimes we run out of ideas of what to say. The podcast has been away for about 2 months now. And even prior to those 2 months, we've been inconsistent for the past couple of months, mostly because of I'm trying to get my personal life in order because I just finished university not too long ago, about 2 years ago. And I'm on the journey, I'm on the path of trying to, organize my own life. And because of the podcast is kind of connected to me, sometimes it has to take the back seat because I'm getting pressure from work, I'm getting pressure from personal life. Sometimes I just I'm not in that space right now. And I can't get any idea to talk about. So for the past couple of months, when I tell you that I couldn't think of anything.
They call it creative block.
I don't believe in it, actually.
They call it creative block and it is actually real. It happens. So the best thing, and healthy thing is you can take a break, but don't go for too long.
But now, you don't see me trying to, because of everybody talking about this, okay, let me go and Google something on ChatGPT and give me something and read it out. Bro.
I want to shake the table. I'm sorry. There's somebody I know, myself and Adura knows. Whenever there's a trending topic, that is just when this person talks. For instance, we have content. If you told me you're a podcaster, I want to see you create content. You necessarily do not need to create content every week, every day, or every month, but at least quite often, let people know you for this. And I do not like people who jump on viral posts to make a thing out of it. It is actually very crazy and cringy. So that means that you cannot make a mind of your own.
Like you're waiting for something to actually
you're
go
always
wrong,
waiting for something
and
to
then
happen.
Go at it like a vulture.
Then you start to talk about all of what you've gathered, all of the information you've gathered. You could have just said this thing even before all of this thing happened.
And even if you want to say it after, come at it from a constructive point of view.
Yeah, just
say, okay, this is what is going on. This is what I observe, and this is what I think we can learn from this. Finish.
But don't come at it like.
Don't question the personality of the person. I used to say something. Learn to separate the art from the artist.
Exactly.
Right now. Because of Burna Boy could be a terrible person personally. No, let me talk. Don't shake my leg. Let me talk. Enter the frame. Because Burna Boy could be a terrible person, and is wearing his boots kicking Nigerians head off stage. Because Brimo could be tribalistic with some of his opinion. Because MI could seem proud. Let me mention these people's name. Because MI could seem proud. Because Wiz could seem condescending. Doesn't mean these people's art is not actually goated.
You see, there was a time when Brimo they were literally calling Brimo a bigot. See, all of those period, I separate the heart from the artist every time. I like Brimo's song. So if Brimo said that people are mad, hold the Brimo. Don't cancel him near my side. Don't tell me not to listen to his music. His music gives me peace and solace. So if you come and tell me that you're listening to this guy, because I remember I was actually playing his song out loud and somebody just told me that you're listening to this bigot guy. I said that he talk anything way bigot for this song. Right? He talk anything way bigot for this song and they listen to. He said no. I said exactly. I just want to listen to something to keep my head calm.
So that's why I try to be very honest, because artists are also human beings. They're going to make errors. They're going to misyan. They're going to be emotional. So just let them be and enjoy their art.
And do not jump on every trendy topic. You don't talk about everything that is trendy. Because they might actually put you under the bus one day.
And they will match your head.
And they will be, aye.
So with that, we've come to the end of the podcast. Thank you so much for sticking around for another couple of weeks. Means plenty. We literally had to bring Anna back after the last time. So I appreciate that if you stick around, if you're still here. I would say you're an OG if you're watching. If you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on whatever social media, on whatever podcasting platform, please make sure you're subscribed so that you will get a notification when a new episode drops. To say the closing remarks, I just want to remind you what we stand for as a podcast. We are on the journey to making people less horrible human beings, not because of we are perfect, but we are trying to just offer insightful opinions and suggestive opinion as to what we think would make people less horrible. Question societal norms, and also try to effect positive change both personally and in our little community as well. Right? Please, if you think these values are something that you actually appreciate, it will mean so much if you follow us on Instagram at Shaking Tables with AA, or Twitter at The Star Podcast, THESTAAR. It's all here, by the way. The Star Podcast. Also, if you want to request topics, if you think you need clarity, we can be your Joro. For folks who don't know who Joro is, Joro is like the guy that people actually go and tell secrets about
their relationship.
Yeah. So if you want people, if you want us to actually, you want to hear a new opinion,
like you are trying to want to seek clarity,
or you want to make a decision and you think you don't have anybody in your life to offer you advice, you just want to get fresh eyes, basically,
you can actually reach out.
Please reach out. You can send us a mail at shakingtableswithaa@gmail.com, or just send it to us. If you want to be anonymous, we will have the anonymous link in the description, so that you can just feel free and do your thing. If you'd like to be a part of the podcast, we'll be filling out a form. We've grown beyond the point in which we want to have influencers on this podcast. We actually want to be able to give you value. So if you'd like to be on the podcast, there's going to be a form where you would tell us what value you think you can offer us, what value you think you can offer our guests, our audiences, and I'm optimistic to see how this goes. As usual, I'm genuinely happy that you rode with us till the very end. And as it's literally dark, and that is still here. She came all the way from the other side of Lagos. I'm not joking. I missed all of this fuel crisis. I missed all of this money crisis, cash crisis. She's still here, and I just wanted to say a big thank you to you. Special shout out to Bellumi and Adam. They created this content with which we are actually working with.